The art of selling is the most valuable skill in the business world. Mastering this area opens the door to financial success and eliminates scarcity. With the ability to sell, you can approach anyone and propose, "I'm interested in promoting your product, and I don't need upfront compensation, just a percentage of the profits, let's say 15%. With a simple agreement, you start promoting, sell the product, and pocket 15% of the sales without having invested anything. Do you want to become the ultimate salesperson? The first key aspect to mastering sales skills is understanding that customers don't want to be faced with a multitude of options. What they really want is the ideal option. When you look at a restaurant menu, you don't want to see an endless list of dishes: meats, pastas, pizzas, fish, appetizers, desserts, cocktails, drinks, etc. What you want is to arrive and find the restaurant's specialty, for example, meats, with 3 or 4 well-defined options. What would you prefer, a juicy cut or a tender sirloin? This is the right decision, because for customers, the opportunity dilemma is an obstacle. Although it is sometimes necessary to present alternatives, it is crucial to follow the movie model, where you are offered the perfect option without having to think too much. Would you prefer a small popcorn tub for $1.10, a reasonably sized one for just 80 cents more, or a huge bucket at a higher price? The choice is obvious for 94% of people who go to the movies. It takes seconds to decide, without having to worry about the opportunity cost, as the other options are automatically discarded. By following this principle, you can help your customers make quick and easy decisions, which will ultimately lead to more sales. The next aspect that influences our sales is the perception of scarcity, creating the feeling that the product is in demand, that it is running out, that it is now or never. You either take it or leave it. It will no longer be available. In addition, it is crucial to convey to the customer, as a salesperson, that you do not depend on their purchase. I offer you the product. If you want it, perfect. If not, nothing happens. Someone else will buy it eventually. This approach is applicable in all areas. And when I talk about selling, I also mean negotiating. Everything in life is negotiable. If you are looking to buy a car, you need to create that sense of scarcity. You can tell the seller, "I have seen the car and it is fine. However, the price you are asking is $2,000, but I am willing to pay $1,800. Another person offers me the same for $1,800. I understand, but I prefer yours because of the color. I have promised a response to the other person by the day after tomorrow, so think about it. If you accept $1,800 now, we sign the contract. If not, I will sign with the other one." This will activate a trigger in the seller's mind, who will think, maybe it is better to secure the $1,800 now. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Besides, it saves me the trouble of showing the car further. However, if you do not generate that sense of scarcity of, "This offer may disappear," the situation changes. If you just say, $2,000 is too much, I offer you $1,800, the seller might respond, "I understand, I will keep you in touch and continue showing the car. If I don't find anyone in 2 or 3 weeks, I will call you." The offer is the same, but the response can be very different. Third, the correct approach is the order in which you guide the customer towards the purchase, towards the conversion. First, you must persuade the customer, and then you can present the irresistible offers and additional incentives. The final offer should be reserved for the closing. It is at that moment when, if the customer is still hesitating, you launch an irresistible offer and secure the sale. But if you start offering deals from the beginning, you will appear desperate. First, you must make the customer want what you offer, want your product. When the customer expresses interest, but some objection arises, such as the high price, the weight, or the lack of space at home, that's when you can overcome those doubts with an irresistible offer. But not before. Before that, you simply have to convince the customer, create the need, and tell them, "Friend, this is what you need. You need it." And when they say, "Hey, it's true, but..." It's that "but" that we get rid of. The next key point is to understand the power of silence. After you have presented your sales pitch, you acknowledge the qualities of the product and remain silent. The customer also remains silent. In this game, The first one to speak loses. You must understand that silence creates significant discomfort. By simply remaining calm, you could end up securing the sale. After explaining the advantages of the product and casting the hook, you remain silent with a kind look on your face. There is no need to rush. Remember, the first one to speak loses. After this moment of silence, it is possible that the customer will say no. But a simple no is not enough. You should not insist. Now, what you should look for, what you should try to discover, is the reason behind that no. The next key point is the principle of reciprocity. This means that by giving something to the customer, whether it's a guide, free advice, an ebook, such as a guide on how to succeed on TikTok in 2023, or anything else, you create the feeling of, I owe you something. In other words, when you enter a bakery and they give you a sample, you feel the need to buy something to return the gesture. You feel that you have been given something and you have to compensate for it. The same thing happens when you enter a luxury store where they serve you coffee, water, soft drinks, or beer. You feel indebted. Therefore, use it to your advantage when selling. Offer gifts, whether it's a free sample, a demonstration, your time, or advice. The strategy you choose will depend on the product or service you are selling. But by giving something away, you generate in the customer the feeling that they have to give you something in return. The sixth crucial aspect is social proof. This can be manifested through testimonials or reviews from other customers. People are more likely to buy your product if their neighbor has already done so. For example, if you're selling a car tire cleaning fluid and someone knocks on your door saying, "Look, we have cleaned your neighbor Manolo's car tires with our product. Would you like to try it too?" You are already one step closer to closing the sale. The same is true if you sell online. Having testimonials and reviews is of vital importance. The seventh and final point is to understand the following. When a company does good marketing, it appears to be an exceptional company, the best of the best. However, when marketing is great, it exceeds that expectation and makes the customer feel like the smartest person in the world. A good salesperson not only enhances the image of their company, but also makes the customer feel like a genius ahead of their time for being the first to acquire that product at that price and at that time. This reminds me of a little story that goes around, although it is probably fictional, but it illustrates this point very well. It is about a watermelon seller who puts up a sign at his stand, offering 2 watermelons for €6 or 3 watermelons for €10. At first glance, it seems like an illogical offer in terms of economies of scale. However, when asked, the seller explains, "Yes, but most of the time people used to buy only 1 watermelon. Now everyone buys 2 to feel smart and say to me, I got the cheapest unit by buying 2 instead of 3. Although the offer didn't really change, the customer feels extremely smart at that moment. This is a perfect sales strategy. Eighth point, focus on the customer, not the product. In the eighth point, it is essential to understand that sales is not so much about your product as it is about the customer. You should focus your sales pitch on reading the customer at that moment, not talking so much about yourself and your product. If you are offering a service or a business, you must learn to quickly read the company and communicate how your product or service can benefit the customer. Instead of focusing on the features of your product, you should highlight how your product can make the customer's life easier, specifically addressing their needs and wants. Focusing on the customer, not the product, is crucial to achieving a successful sale. Finally, the last point is to understand that the vast majority of purchase decisions are emotional. Therefore, you should focus on creating a need in your customer by appealing to their emotions. Instead of highlighting the technical features of your product, such as its lightness, durability, and long warranty, you should address each customer's situation uniquely. For example, if you see that they have a baby seat in their car, you could mention that the vacuum cleaner is perfect for cleaning up liquid spills, such as those caused by a cup of pineapple juice, preventing the baby from slipping in the car. If they also have pets, you could highlight how the vacuum cleaner can help keep the house clean of pet hair, reducing the risk of allergies and improving home safety. It is essential to create a need that resonates with each customer's circumstances and emotions. You can use emotions like fear to show how your product can solve a problem and provide security. In short, it is about creating an emotional connection with the customer and showing how your product can improve their life. And that's all for today. Remember to like and subscribe if you found the video helpful.